Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Watson again, and today's episode of our chapter that we're doing, I am on vacation with my family. So we are in South Dakota in what is called the Badlands National Park. So we have pulled over so I could read today's chapter to you. So if you look behind me, you see some of the beautiful hills, and if my cameraman will kind of just, we're at a campground. So some beautiful, beautiful scenery. Okay, so let's see. Who do I see out there today? I'm all the way in South Dakota, so it's really hard to see you all out there, but I see Reagan again, and Gavin, and Olivia, and Azaria. Of course, Emily joins us all the time. Andrew's out there. Nathan, hi Nathan. Hi Olivia, Callie. Who else is out there? Madison, Mackay, always. Hi Malachi, you too. And Owen. I hope you're all having a really good summer. If I don't mention your name, it just means it's really hard to see, so I don't know what to say. Maybe look at the other episodes. I think I've got you. So let's start with two poems today. The first one is called Enter This Deserted House. So it's in our poetry book. Enter this deserted house, but please walk softly as you do. Frogs dwell here and crickets too. Ain't no ceiling, only blue. Jays dwell here and sunbeams too. Floors are flowers, take a few. Ferns grow here and daisies too. Whoosh, swoosh, to-wit, to-woo. Bats dwell here and hoot owls too. Ha ha, hee hee, hoo hoo. Gnomes dwell here and goblins too. And my child, I thought you knew, I dwell here. So do you. The next one is our all-time favorites. One of my favorites is Sick. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry. I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks. I've counted 16 chicken pox. And there's one more, that's 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue. It might be instamatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin. My belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched, my ankle's sprained. My appendix pains each time it rains. And my nose is cold, my toes are numb. I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff. My voice is weak. I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth. I think my hair is falling out. My elbow's bent. My spine ain't straight. My temperature is 108. My brain is shrunk. I cannot hear. There's a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail and my heart is... What? What's that? What's that, you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye, I'm going out to play. I know that's your guys' favorite poem. I've read it like a billion times this year. So, we're on chapter 7 today, so if you go into your little booklets that we have, chapter 7 is here, and today's skill is write to explain. That is write to explain. So everything that John puts in his mouth turns to chocolate. Would you want this to happen to you? Give reasons to support your answer. So I think 3 reasons or more should be good enough. So you should start by answering the question. Would you want this to happen to you? Yes, I would want to have the chocolate touch. No, I do not want the chocolate touch. Choose one of those 2 sentences to start with, and then 3 reasons in sentence form why or why not. Okay? I think 3 maybe. You could do more too. Just make sure that you write really good 2nd grade sentences, capitals at the beginning and periods and whatnot. Okay? So let's open up to chapter 7, page 72. "All right, boys and girls," Miss Plimsoll said. "It's almost time for lunch. Clear up your things, paint pots securely closed, brushes washed, paintings unpinned, laid out to dry, drawing boards stacked up against the wall, and there's the bell. Front row first, Timothy leading, then Robin, in single file. Go!" John, alone, walked slowly in the throng, hurrying along the corridors to the school cafeteria. The school was proud of the cafeteria and the food served in it. The room was spacious and bright, with windows all the way along one side overlooking the playground and the playing fields beyond. The opposite side was wholly taken up by the shiny silver service counter. Several boys and girls were already settled at the tables by the time John took his place in line. Enviously, John noticed a boy at a nearby table suck at straws dipped in a milk bottle that was dull with frost. John could imagine the refreshing taste of cold, creamy milk. Another table, a group of girls, were eating fat red cherries, page 74 at the top. John could almost feel the firm fruit on his tongue and the pleasure of biting through the tart, juicy pulp. Oh, the cherries must taste good. They must be thirst-quenching. So John seems like the chocolate touch is kind of wearing thin. He doesn't really like it anymore. He wants to taste something besides chocolate. John unhappily took a tray from the pile and slid it along the rails in front of the top of the counter. He put a paper napkin, a glass, and a gleaming spoon, a knife, and a fork on a tray. It hardly seemed worth the while, but he felt he might as well try the food and drink. "Perhaps if I eat a different way without letting anything touch my lips," he muttered, "my lunch won't all change to chocolate." He was not very hopeful. "What?" asked the boy standing next to him. "Nothing," John said. "I thought I heard you say something about chocolate," the boy said. "I hope this is the day for chocolate cream pie," he added. "That'd be super." On chocolate cream pie days of the past, John had been known to skip the main course so he might spend all his lunch money on the dessert. The thought of 4 pieces of chocolate cream pie now suddenly made his stomach feel as though he were on a roller coaster. An uneasy, flibberty-gibberty sensation. John shuddered. "Ooky," he commented, wrinkling up his nose. The other boy shrugged his shoulders and started to choose his meal. John took a plate of cold chicken and ham, potato chips, and a crisp, moist lettuce and tomato salad. The white of the chicken and the pink of the ham and the gold of the potatoes, the pale green lettuce and the red of the tomato looked delicious. He also took half a pint of milk, a thick-crusted whole wheat roll, a cool pat of butter, a tumbler of water with ice cubes clinking against the glass, and a dish of fresh fruit, slices of orange, grapefruit, and banana and grapes. John's trail was loaded with just the sort of meal his mother was always trying to persuade him to eat. Until today, John had always thought it was pretty dull to eat sensible things when there were sweeter food and drink to be had. Today, however, the sensible things looked most appetizing, and his mouth began to water in its new sticky way. John paid for the lunch with his money his mother had given him, went on to an empty table, and sat down. His fingers trembled slightly with eagerness. He cut a slice of lettuce. His fork went through the leaves with a promising crunch. We're on page 79, top of it. He stuck the prongs of the fork into a mouth-sized piece of lettuce and carefully inserted it into his mouth. The lettuce didn't touch his wide-stretched lips. John's teeth came together in crisp layers of sweet chocolate. He took a small piece of potato chip, tilted his head back until he was looking straight up at the ceiling, and dropped the morsel straight down his throat. He felt it go down a sharp fragment of sweet chocolate. He tried the milk, the ice water, the fruit. Every solid and liquid that he had sampled was transformed as soon as it entered his mouth. Then he became aware of a shocking novelty that he hadn't noticed at breakfast. At the rim of each glass there was a small semicircle of opaque brown. Opaque means clear. So it's like a clear brown, tinted brown. The bowl of his spoon and the prongs of his fork had become brown. As John watched, horrified, the areas of magic chocolate slowly spread until the last of the glasses and the cutlery were all solid chocolate. The trouble was unquestionably getting worse, growing worse. John's scalp tightened with fear. "What am I going to do?" he asked himself miserably. Oh dear, what is going to happen to me?" Leaving his trail of chocolate food and drink and utensils, John stumbled away from the cafeteria and out to the playground. So poor John went from just his food changing into chocolate to everything that is now touching his mouth. So his bowl, his fork and spoon, and his glass. Poor John. The trouble is getting worse. So next time we read, we will be doing chapter 8. And remember, this book is 12 chapters long. So we have chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10, chapter 11, chapter 12. So 5 full chapters to read until we are done with the book. Boys and girls, thank you for joining me today. Luke wants to say hi.
Happy summer.
Does Evelyn want to say hi? Hi, Evelyn.
Hi.
Hi.
Don't forget the dinosaurs.
And have a wonderful day, and I hope you're enjoying your summer as much as I am. Bye.